Welcome back, everybody. This is one of my helper videos, interspersed with my other stuff. I also do helper videos. Anyway, so the the fellow like-minded individual that needs help at the moment is Northern Girl Hobbies, which is a prepper YouTuber, Hong Konger from the northern landscape of Canada, and they have a little story going on that they need help with. They have a give send go setup, which is the preferred alternative to the other fundraising. And 7 days ago, they did a reach out for help, and I said, hey, you should do a give send go, because there's a lot of people that won't send money over PayPal, etc., especially after what happened with the great honkening. And so they've reached 177 Canada so far, and they need 15,000 Canada in a couple weeks, which is it's very achievable for given the exchange rate and how many wonderful people are out there. So I'm going to tell the story really quick, and then y'all can decide how to help if you can. So they said, we made an offer on 5 acres of off-grid property in the early summer with a private seller. We provided them $40,000, which is being held in trust with a law firm. There's $25,000 which still needs to be covered. $10,000 of that is coming from the remainder of their credit line, so this leaves them with having to come up with $15,000 by October 3rd. This does not include legal fees. After several weeks of waiting to hear back from the bank about the home equity line plan assessment on the home, they were told it was being denied because of the debt payment ratio. Our home was paid for 10 years ago, as I flipped 2 homes prior. We have no other debt besides the $40,000 sitting in trust. Despite being mortgage free, we are in a crapshoot for the next few weeks. Here's some important considerations. They don't make enough money on paper, regardless of having several income streams. And I want to stop there really quick and say, this is just a problem whenever you're trying to get money, whenever you're trying to borrow money, and you're an internet person with internet businesses and stuff. The banks don't like you not having a paycheck because their pea brains don't understand that money is money. But I digress. Alex, which is I think their spouse, was injured at work back in March. Thumb smashed by a sledgehammer, followed by back injury. His boss did not have his books squared up with the Worker and Safety Insurance Board. The only money that they've granted him thus far has been the travel funds to and from the city to see the surgeon and physiotherapist. There's been no lost time pay issued as of yet. We still haven't even received his pay stubs or record of employment. He has since applied for employment insurance earnings to have some form of income coming in. There's nothing as of yet to go back to the weeks of lost work, so like no back pay. I don't know how that works in Canada land, but here they don't do that. But that'd be neat if they did that there. At least they didn't used to. I hope they do. He's finally back to work this week with a different employer and has some side jobs lined up also. So aside from trying to raise 15,000 Canada, they're also selling a list of items. She also has an Etsy store and makes all kinds of goodies. She's a prepper. She's very supportive. She's one of the only YouTubers that's actually tried to support my book, which is very, I'm very, very thankful for that, because that ended up being significantly harder than I thought. And so she was one of the few that stepped up, which I really appreciate. And they're basically selling everything. And the whole reason why, the intention was for her to get 5 acres to live off grid and be more self-sufficient. And kind of the bummer here is they've already relocated a bunch of their stuff there, thinking it would be a slam dunk, because they obviously have the money if it didn't make sense in all of my rambling, they have the money in equity in their house, but the bank is not letting them take the equity out. Even though it's their money in their house and their money in their equity, they're saying, well, you wouldn't be able to pay it back. It's like, but it's their money. Anyway, it's just another way that they're getting screwed by the banks up there. Not that it's any better here. Okay, so they already moved the plants out there. They were going to build a cabin and a garden, and then they would sell their home and they would move there. She's going to try to talk with other banks, trying to work out other loans. These are all things, side note, these are all things that I had wished that we had been able to do. This is absolutely the right thing to do, is to just keep talking to other banks. This is exactly how we got scammed. We didn't feel like we were given enough latitude to check for another bank. Instead, we asked for little mini extensions, and that's how we got scammed. So, she's going about this the right way. And she really doesn't have a lot of options besides just farming for other banks and trying to find a bank that'll lend to her. But yeah, it's like she says, there's insane fees attached. And again, same thing that happened to us. Some of these loan types have like tens of thousands of dollars in fees, which are just completely made up ways they have of lining their pockets. But yeah, I don't want this to be about me. But the point of me saying these things is I completely empathize with this. This is what happened to us. The only difference is she has a tiny bit more time than we did. We had to deal with all this in real time, and it didn't work in our favor. It ended up wiping our savings out. So, which left us no money to repair the place. So please, if you can, check out Northern Girl Hobbies, aka Jennifer Lynn. See if you can send some. If you're in Canada, send some Canado. If you're somewhere else in the world, your exchange rate's probably better, and your money would go even further. She also has a Ko-fi and a PayPal, although I don't know anyone would use that. So, you know, I don't think they're asking for too much. If you want it to be a loan instead, she's offering to pay everybody back. And I know she's good for it. So, because she's going to be selling the house, so she's going to be able to afford it just fine. So, yeah, I hope you'll at least check this out. If not, and you have an audience, I hope you can share this, because everybody who's ready and willing and able to try to get land right now is going to be another asset in the tool shed later. And so if you can't do it, you could at least help other people do it. And she's one of the good ones. So I'm just going to cut this off here, and I hope you'll check it out. I've used GiveSendGo before. They're doing really good in my opinion, in terms of security and communications. And I know they've had some trials and tribulations, but that just means that they're doing it right. And the fact that they're still here and hanging in there, I think is very admirable. So when I was trying to raise money for my house, I was also using GiveSendGo. So anyway, that's my little plug for them. They don't sponsor me or anything. I've used them before. So anyway, check out Northern Girl Hobbies. Check out the GiveSendGo. I'll throw the links down in the about. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.